Aloha fam, Unity Grace, here to share some inspiration that's been coming through in the miracle to assist us along on our beautiful path together. Miss Bass, aloha. Thank you for the beautiful photos from the Star Knowledge Conference. Hi Robin, hi Andrew, hi Maria, Crystal Kelly Jean, Miss St. Grace, there's Rebecca, hi Sharon, aloha. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Some beautiful sharing to do with us today. So a beautiful transmission came through in the miracle coordinate of last night for our beautiful golden pod here, who is assisting with the transmissions and recording and transcribing and helping to simplify, so we have simple tools to help us on this path. And the transmission that came through was called Patience, Pupa, Patience, the chrysalis. This amazing moment and energetic that we are collectively in now. And so I was guided to help just slow things down with our crew. Todd Medina and I did a love stream in the miracle coordinate a few days ago, and one of the things we talked about was relax. So that's something that in our old programming we were not very good at. In fact, we were not trained to be relaxed. And relaxing is something much beyond sitting in front of a television or a movie. Don't do that. Just stop. That is not relaxation. We can find a lot of relaxation in nature right now. It's very important to be on the earth and grounding out these energies that are coming in and assisting the body. So relaxation is like lying on your back on the ground with your homies staring up at the stars, like that. Lots of that. Very good for us right now. Chrysalis, little caterpillars in our cocoons. So that's number one. Chill out, relax, be in nature, and be still in and with nature. The energies of transmutation and transfiguration are very big, and they cannot be understood from the place of the mind. Yay! So the mind gets to chill out and relax, and the mind is kind of like a border collie, which loves to have an assignment, and if it doesn't, it likes to chew on things. So remember that when anything comes up into our awareness that is causing us stress, anxiety, or worry, that is merely the border collie of the mind chewing on the socks of your neurons. Stop. Stop that border collie. Give the border collie something to do. Like, tell the border collie to look up at the stars and watch for ships in the sky. Like that. And then the border collie is happy it has an assignment, and the body can chill out and relax. It's so fun. So simple. Okay, step one. Step two. So Richard Rudd, of course, the Gene Keys, you know, I love. The 55th gene is the gene of the new earth, transcendent of victimization consciousness. It's got all those steps that we already passed. All of us, we passed We're done. We're done the drama. We're done faking freedom. We're done blaming others. We're done victimization consciousness. We passed all of that. And so in the Heavenly Hydraulics, he talks about the dragonfly. It's called the dragonfly's dream. And he talks about the nymph. So the nymph is that little larva that lives in the water before it becomes a dragonfly. And what is amazing about the nymph is that the nymph stays underwater its entire life, not like other creatures that have to come to the surface for some air. The nymph is underwater. So we've kind of been like the nymphs. We have been so underwater in the sea of thought consciousness, of duality and his story and all those different things. Crystal, you just sent me a message. Okay, so yes, the nymph remains underwater, and that's really what it's been for us. We have been under the water. We don't really know what's up there. Well, some of us have a little clue because we've been given access. And we are messengers to help assist. I say that we're kind of like lead butterflies with the intel, so that the journey can be enjoyable all the way. So, okay, the amazing thing about the nymphs is that they are, what does he say, highly successful predators, feeding on anything from leaf litter to small fish. That is the underworld we have been in. The underworld of highly successful predators, including ourselves. So, we're done. Yay. No more successful predation on each other. All done. That was the part of raising our energy up from the lower 3 chakras and getting it into the upper chakras to keep them activated. And if you don't have that going on and you're still in games of energy vampiring and push-pull, then sit down, squeeze those intrinsic muscles inside of you, go take Bikram's yoga, get that energy up so it stays at the top of the head and the entire system is running properly. Pull your breath up, draw that energy up, use all the techniques available to keep the energy up in the entire system, and then you will have a sovereign functioning unit which will not need to take energy or give energy in compromised energetic agreements. That's old. I know. Some of this is old. Bygones be bygones, and yet still seems to be necessary to mention it and share it. So, all right. So yes, we have been in a sea of successful predation, and we graduated from that. And so now, what do we do now that the drama is over and there's no adrenaline to feed on? Because that's what we thought living was all about, was actually the feeling of the adrenaline coursing through us living in that sea of predation. Now what? Well, the border collie goes, this task is not so difficult anymore. In fact, it's a little bit boring, so I think I'm going to chew on the shoes of your neurons again. Maybe create a little bit of stress up there so that I can feel some excitement like I used to feel. No. Stop that, border collie. Let's go lay in the forest and count the leaves falling to the ground. Okay? Happy little border collie again. Get that mind busy. Let's have fun with this, yes? Okay. Lots of nice breath work, lots of relaxation, and still, how do we deal with the mundane? How do we deal with that thing that people called 3D, which is so long gone? Promise, it's really gone. It's not real, it doesn't exist. We made it all up. It was agreements. Hot and cold agreements. I agree that this feels hot and this feels cold because I was trained to believe that, and I made that agreement with creation to say this energy feels hot and this energy feels cold. But the thing is, those were agreements and we're letting them all go. No agreements with how we term energy, or how we, what's the word? We are releasing our agreements with the meaning that we are giving to old energies. That's how powerful we are. So the nymphs climb up the stalk. This is when they graduate, when they mutate, when they're done with living in that sea of predation, and they climb the stalk. And then all this amazing stuff starts to happen. Their wings start blooming and all this exciting stuff. So back to this 3D mundane and this piece where people are going like, how do I bridge this and the money and blah, blah, blah. Lots of meditation, lots of internal process, lots of going within and dissolving. See, just picture a vortex in the center of us, because that's what it is. A vortex. We are the black hole. The black hole exists at the core of the electron and the smallest particles of existence. Everything is a vortex. As above, so below. So, just get that little vortex running, turn it on, and just toss everything into the vortex, no matter what it is. See, because Richard actually says at the beginning of the 55th gene, I love this part, because I say it too. I say that we can actually activate this process of ascension. He says the 55th gene key describes this place, which is the sole purpose to trigger the awakening. But more than that, it allows you to contemplate and quicken the actual process of awakening. Get your gene keys, read your 55th over and over and over. Just like put it on repeat. Record yourself reading it and put it in your headphones when you go to bed. Something like that. Or not. Just put the pillow under your, put the book under your pillow. Yes, that works too. Osmosis. So, yes, 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 we can activate this process. We are so super powerful. It's real. So, okay, get the vortex going, all the little crumpets and tidbits of worry and anxiety and polarity and blame and victimization and so on. Just like into the vortex, you too. Give that task to the Border Collie. Border Collie, anytime there is a tidbit of energy in my field that is polarized, because polarized is connected to duality, and where we're going is beyond the wave, I promise. Been there. It's beyond vibration. It's beyond frequency. So, give the Border Collie the task now to continually monitor our fields for any polarized energy and say, get that polarized energy and drop it in the vortex. That Border Collie is going to be so joyous because there's all those little tidbits of polarized energy. That Border Collie is going to be panting. Now the Border Collie has an assignment. Stay on top of the polarized energies coming through me. Drop them into the vortex in the center of me, because I have activated my Kundalini and I keep my energy up. And if I am noticing that I am going down, I just go back in and squeeze those intrinsic muscles from the bottom up. Do some breaths, pull it all up, pull it to the top of the head, touch the top of the head, so you remember. It's really good. It activates. It's reminds, it helps us to direct the energy, just like that. Tap, tap, tap. This is where I want my Kundalini all the time to be connected from the bottom to the top. We are having so much fun today, aren't we? Okay, so now the Border Collie has an assignment other than worrying about things or chewing on the neurons of our shoes. It is going to stay on top of polarized energy. Energy that has a trigger. So we start to come into this place of neutral and stillness because that's what's at the center of the vortex. The still point, 0 point, where we can access all times, places, spaces, dimensions, and beyond with just a thought. All right, so another little tip. The mundane. How do we deal with the mundane? Bridging, work, money, all those things. This is how we do it. This is how we do it. We become experts, like the Border Collie, at monitoring our energy. So that means taking some time in stillness to just track our internal systems, our external systems. Where are our thoughts going? Where do I feel pain in my body? Where do I feel pressure in my body? Where do I feel lightness in my body? Where do I feel happy in my body? Where do I feel heat in my body? Just start tracking. Just close your eyes and go, what am I feeling? Now, with feeling, first thing when we go, I am feeling sad because, stop it right there. We don't need a because the stories are done. Okay? So as soon as I hear or feel anything inside, can we just play this little game together? The moment I go, I am feeling this because, no. No because, no story. Don't go into the story because the story emphasizes the belief in the feeling. See, because actually there is no feeling going on. It's just belief and training of what these feelings are. Okay, so the feelings are all agreements, just like hot and cold is agreement. And they get perpetuated over time, which doesn't exist anymore, but they did. Feelings got perpetuated over time. And then they became attached to a story, and the story became who we were, and oh my gosh. Oh, but we're past that. We're past the drama thing, yes. So, eyes closed, tracking the energy. I feel sad. No because. Okay, so then I feel sad. Let me go deeper into that energy. Does the energy have a color? Does it have a shape? Does it have a texture? Does it have a temperature? If it does, go into it. What is the color? What is the temperature? What is the texture? And where do I feel it in my body the most? So, eyes closed. Let's do it together right now. Take a big breath, feel into the body. What am I feeling? All right, if you found a spot of anything in your body, now ask yourself the question, does this feeling have a color? Does this feeling have a shape? Does this feeling have a temperature? Does this feeling have a texture? How does it feel when I run my hands through it? Like that. Eyes closed. Okay, now let's go even deeper. Let's go back in. Let's see if any of those things have changed. Check through the whole list again. Does the feeling have a color? If so, has the color changed? Does the feeling have a shape? Has it changed? A temperature? A texture? Has it changed? Where in my body do I feel it the most? Has it changed? So, guaranteed it has changed. Because now we are moving away from the story, we are moving away from the word that gives meaning to the energy that came through agreements of training of what it was to be a human in duality. Oh, if this video is helpful, please share. Thank you. As it changes, we become more attuned simply to energy again. We are energy beings. This is all part of Flight Lessons 101. We are energetic beings, and we are learning again to turn energy back to primal silly putty. Just primal silly putty of the cosmos to create with. So continue to work on these processes, and when we are in the mundane and dealing with all of that bridging and how do we go from this world to that world and so on, now we have tools when we're doing that thing, like sitting at the desk at the office doing some job that maybe we don't like. Does the feeling have a color? Does the feeling have a shape? Does the feeling have a temperature? And so on. As we do this, we continue to just become more present to the energy, because the ego has a perception about something being better out there. Grass is always greener. If I could just get there, I'm going to be happy. If we could just get this ascension thing over with, we could be on those ships and just everything's perfect. But everything is perfect. It's the biology of belief. Power of perception. It's an inside job. So, we apply these learnings, we apply these tools miracle by miracle, whether we're standing at the kitchen sink washing dishes staring out the window, or working a 9 to 5, or at a fantastic festival creating amazing things. It's all same. I always say 10 things the ego should know before it prays for ascension. It's not what the ego thinks, and there is no rushing to get there. In fact, the rushing is the part that has us lose connection with the very thing that we seek, which is life. That is what we seek. We seek connection to the life that gives us life. A great secret now revealed, right here on Facebook LoveStream Live with all of us and Unity Grace. It is life seeking life, and that's what we are seeking to feel. And it doesn't come from adrenaline, and it doesn't come from addiction, and it doesn't come from feeding our hunger. It comes from getting still. It comes from stilling the border collie and giving it a new assignment to track the energy within us, miracle by miracle, word by word, meaning by meaning, and story by story, hot by hot, cold by cold, because they're all definitions we agreed upon. None of it is real in the higher realms. Hot might feel real here, but it's an intensity that can actually be equal to the feeling of being extremely cold. We are the makers of this, yes? And we are redefining it because it is being redefined through us. So let's get connected with the life that is giving us life, which is where the true joy of the process, the true purity of the process is at. So now when we close our eyes, we can also open our eyes and do same, because we are skilled Jedis. We're very good at this stuff. So we can apply the techniques all the time now. Tracking. Happy border collies. And suddenly, the mundane becomes magical. Because now we're making the connection with life itself. Now when we go into our meditations, it is exciting to discover what life actually feels like inside. Maybe I have my legs crossed in lotus. How does it feel when one leg sits on the other and creates something I call pressure? Maybe now I can redefine that also to life experiencing life, to the magic of spirit being in what it believes to be the flesh, experiencing life just through one ankle sitting and pressing upon the other. It's very rich, I promise. This is physical ascension at its finest. Implosion of grace and the explosion, so to speak, of the matter back to spirit, connecting. The two hands touching of spirit and form. It's an inside job. The beloved is here, inside. And this is a very special time to be alive. Let's not miss it or waste it. Fretting about other things. When we learn to navigate, those other things just dissolve away as the miracles flood in, the miracle of life. Birds don't have jobs they get paid for. They're connected to the life that gives them life. That could be an inside code we are sharing. Birds are connected to the life that gives them life, so they don't have to go out and look for the mundane job. They just get to be. So, the more we reconnect to the life that gives us life as energy, void of stories and void of meaning, just purely as an experience of life itself. Life is the magic. And when we are connecting and connected and whole with it and fully present, then everything that is not of pure pleasure of the experience of life connecting with life will dissolve. I promise. So much love. Now, go train the border collie with some new assignments. Get deeply connected to energy. Take away all the meaning, just dissolve it, throw it into the vortex. That little border collie is going to be so busy. You, thought, meaning, story, all of you into the vortex. The fourth gene is about the annihilation of. This time-space continuum as we know it. So let's play together. Get into lotus, everyone. Whether you're standing at the sink, washing dishes, or in meditation, we do this together. This is how we do it. So, if this is helpful, please share, and love and blessings to the amazing golden ones who are assisting to bring these transmissions through. Our little social media network is almost ready to launch, and we invite your prayers and love and assistance for the superabundance of all through these messages, because language is key to transforming everything. So if we do this together and we share the messages, this is superabundance. How do I know? Because it's written in the genes of the oracle. Heart marketing. We all become the leaders through a few simple good ideas from the divine of how we do it. So our golden pod of Unity Transmissions would love to invite your prayers and support for our superabundance to continue to do this, and our superabundance with all of us being part of this. Superabundance meaning remembering the life that is giving us life is the primary superabundance to experience and express. I love you all so. Yes. We love we. Remember to say, I love me, I thank me. Very important, taking the energy back. I love me, I thank me, we love we. Aloha.